Hey, how's it going? This is Justin Gilman with Quantum Leads, and today I'll be walking you through your digital marketing attack plan to show you how to turn your website into a lead generation machine and really generate some revenue for you month over month. So let's take a look up here at AC Repair Houston, which generates about 1,600 searches every single month. Now, obviously, there's a lot more searches out there when you take into account, variations of the search term such as AC installation or AC repair near me. But for the sake of time in this video, we'll just be focusing on AC Repair Houston and talking about how you can turn those 1,600 searches a month into revenue for your business. So let's start with your website. Your website, specifically your AC repair page. And if we scroll down here, I think you have a very good grasp of, having a functional website. However, from an SEO perspective, there's a lot of things that we can improve on if we want to make sure that customers are finding our business online. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is internal search engine optimization, which is essentially all the different things we can do from within your website to increase your search appearance. Now, in this case, we're going to be talking about content and keywords, as those are the two most important aspects of internal SEO. So let's start with content. Why is content so important? While having a very contentful website goes a long way in promoting a positive user experience because it gives users something to engage with. And when a user has a positive experience on your website, they're more likely to come back to your website or to Google for future searches. So it makes sense that Google would promote a very contentful website because it's a win-win scenario for them. Now, I normally recommend about 750 to 1,000 words minimum on any given page. The reason being is that 750 to 1,000 is that perfect range where you don't sacrifice the visual aesthetic of your website. So definitely something to think about. Like I said, 750 to 1,000 words, bare minimum. But we don't just want any content. You're probably saying to yourself, well, Justin, why don't I just throw up 5,000 words on a page and call it a day? And the reason we can't do that is because we have to make sure that our content remains relevant. And the way we do that is with our keywords. Keywords are the most used words or phrases on a web page, and based on these words and phrases, we are going to tell Google vital information about our business. I like to tell people that we want to answer the three main questions for Google with our keywords, which are what do we do, where do we do it, and who are we? So let's take a look at your keywords and see if they answer those three main questions for Google. So here we are on a tool I use called Keywords Everywhere. And if we scroll down here, you're going to notice your most used keywords. We're going to focus in on the first six keywords. Obviously, you can always further optimize, but for the sake of time, we'll just focus on those first six. Now, number one and number two, I recommend to be industry specific keywords. So air at number one is perfect, very popular search term in the AC repair industry for obvious reasons. But number two, you have service. Now, service isn't a bad keyword, it's a great keyword. However, I would move it down your list just because service is a very broad term that applies to multiple industries. Now, instead, I would put repair at number two because repair is a modifier or a complement to the first keyword. So, like I said, air at number one, then some sort of modifier, a complement, either repair, installation, maybe even home if you do more residential jobs rather than commercial jobs. But put service a little bit further down. Then at number three and four, I recommend your location-based keywords. So number three, you have Houston, which is perfect. But number four, I would put Texas in there. Just kind of some icing on the cake to really put that in there. We don't really need to put Texas, but like I said, it goes one step further to really let Google know where we do business and help them drive that local traffic to our site. And then lastly, number five and six. Number five and six, we want to be branding based keywords. So the reason we want our brand in there is because, yes, we're going to get searches from things like AC Repair in Houston, but we're also going to have people look directly for our business's name. And when that happens, we want to make sure that we appear for those searches. So, like I said, five and six, we want our branding keywords. And just to rehash everything, one and two, industry specific keywords, three and four, location based keywords, and lastly, five and six, we want our branding based keywords. So, let's take a look at your competition and see what they're doing as far as content and keywords go. So here we are at AirTex of Houston, and they are the number one organically ranking site in the Houston area for AC repair. And let's see why. So you're going to notice that they have a ton of content on this page. Obviously, you had a little bit more content on your page, but they do have a lot of content, and it never hurts to further the gap. So we can always add more content to your page to further the gap between you guys. But they do have a lot of content, and they are seeing the benefits of that. But like I said, you can't just rank with content. You need to make sure that it's relevant. So let's take a look at their keywords. So here we are at AirTex of Houston on Keywords Everywhere. And if we scroll down here, we'll see their most used keywords. We have air at number one. Then they put that location-based keyword at number two. Like I said, I recommend it at three. Then we have service, home, location, HVAC. So Not fully optimized, but still a good list of industry specific keywords. I would recommend basing some of your keywords off of these suggestions, as well as the suggestions that I gave you to create the strongest keywords list possible. Now let's go back to your website and talk about external search engine optimization and how it ties into everything. So when talking about external search engine optimization, we're essentially talking about backlinking in this case. Backlinking, very simple at face value, just a link from one website to another. And what this does from an SEO perspective is a lot more because it essentially acts as a reference to Google saying that I trust the information that comes from the source or I trust the business that this website is representing. So very powerful statement to make. And like I said, it can tell Google that we are a trustworthy business, but we have to get links from quality sources. Because if we don't, we can also tell Google that we are not a trustworthy source or that we are a spammy or harmful website by getting links from other spammy or harmful websites. Now, normally you see it all the time. Somebody goes on Fiverr, they buy $50 worth of links, they get 10,000 backlinks. And what you're doing is that you're essentially getting 10,000 links that are telling Google that you are a bad site. So it's no surprise when your website crashes 50 spots because, like I said, that's 10,000 different references telling Google that you are not a trustworthy source. So let's take a look at your current backlink structure using a tool I have called Ahrefs and determine what you're doing so far. So here we are in Ahrefs looking specifically at your AC repair page. We have a 12 UR, a 6 DR, generates you about 40 users every single month, and about $1,000 worth of traffic value. So let's discuss these metrics a little bit further. So what is UR? What is DR? UR stands for URL rating. And what that is the power that goes to an individual web page. So in this case, we're just talking about your AC repair and the amount of power that it generates. Whereas DR, on the other hand, stands for domain rating, and what that is the power that goes through your entire website. So not just your AC repair page, all of your service pages, all of your home pages, your About Us page, your content, every single page is summarized in DR. Now we want the strongest of both metrics along with a strong internal SEO structure to create the most value for our business. So that brings me to my next point. Let's talk about traffic value and how this is calculated. Traffic value is a measure of the buyer intent of each user based on the keyword that they come from. Now, to give you an example, think about somebody looking for ACs. They do not carry as much buyer intent as somebody looking for AC repair or AC installation. And the reason being is that somebody looking for ACs could be looking for pictures of ACs or even just articles about AC units. Whereas somebody looking for AC repair or AC installation, 9 times out of 10 is looking to purchase a direct service. Thus, they carry a lot more traffic value or buyer intent. So let's take a look at your competitors and see what they're doing as far as external SEO metrics. Here we have AirTex of Houston with a 33 UR, a 38 DR. They generate almost 4,000 users every single month organically and have a traffic value of almost $103,000 month over month. So this is a prime example of what you can do when you mix internal SEO with external SEO and the amount of value that you can create for your business. Now, if we keep working down the line here, we have Abacus Plumbing with a 26 UR, a 46 DR, generates about 714 users every single month and a traffic value of about $28,000. So a lot of value here if you follow the steps in this video. But let's go back to the Google search engine result page and talk about the Google Map Pack for a second. So we're back to the Google search engine results page, and what we have right here is the Google Map Pack, and what we've been talking about so far is the organic search results down here. Now, if we scroll back up to this map pack, this is super important because it essentially gives your business a second place that you can win on Google. You can win down below or in the map pack, and if you can rank number one in both, you guarantee yourself 1,600 searches to your business first before any of your competitors. So very powerful tool and a lot of potential here. To get into the map pack, you first have to verify your business via postcard with Google, which is 100% free. And to rank in the map pack, you have to adhere to all the factors that they're looking for. Number one, what they look for is that you filled out that form to 100%. Number two, what they look for is a strong organic presence, which is why SEO is so important because it also influences the map pack. And number three, what they look for is citations. Now, citations are all the different places your business's name, address, and phone number are listed online. Some popular citations are things like Yellow Books, Yellow Pages, Facebook, Instagram. All those are different citations you can give for your business, and they all help with your Google My Business profile. So let's take a look at how many citations each of these companies has and determine how many you'll need to go in and start outranking them. So here we are in Whitespark, and you'll see we have Richmond's Air with 15 citations, ASAP Air with 59 citations, and H-Town AC Repair with 25. Now, Normally, I recommend you double the biggest number in here. So if there's 59 citations, we're going to need 118 citations along with our other factors to go in and rank consistently in this map pack. And the reason I say consistently is because you'll see right here is that you'll have companies that'll outrank one another because they don't consistently follow the same plan that we've given you. They might be stronger internally, but not externally. They might have citations, but no SEO. So we really want to combine all the metrics here to get the strongest ranking result possible. But that's all I really have for you in this video. Once again, my name is Justin Gilman. I work with Quantum Leads. I'd love to set up a meeting with you to talk about anything that wasn't discussed in this video or maybe any questions you have. So feel free to click the button at the bottom of this email to set up a meeting with us. We'd love to talk to you. Once again, I hope this video is very educational, and thanks for watching.